What makes this really fun is what we did was we just made a plain margarita base. So this you can make margaritas, or you can make what we call agua frescas. And what agua frescas are served on the streets in Mexico, and they're just, instead of soda, they use like a club soda, and they mix it with the fruit juices, and it's really refreshing. And what's nice about this is if you have children at the party or people that don't drink alcohol, they can make that drink too. So what you would do is you would... Do you have any volunteers?
Oh, that's right. We're going to have 3 of you come up and do your own, personalize your own margarita. And we had a lot of fun. We were asked and very privileged to host a dinner for a charity event at my house. It was one of those things that you go, oh, sure, I'll do that. And then I'll do it 6 months from now, and those 6 months come like that. You know how that goes. And all of a sudden, you've got your house to prepare, and you've got dinner to do. And so, but we actually had a lot of fun, and we did this party for them.
They loved it.
And it was great because we set the margarita bar up, and it's so pretty. You can do it all different ways with all different garnishes, and be creative with your garnishes and your syrups. That's what makes it really fun. And as they came to the door, I set this up actually in my living room. So it wasn't necessarily where the rest of the party was. It kind of made people kind of move throughout your house a little bit more than standing in the kitchen. And they walked in the door, and we said, y'all make your own margarita. So I'm going to have 3 people come up. Now, don't be shy. Believe me, you're the only ones that get to taste the actual alcohol drink, so come on. Come on, there we go. See, that sparked you up. So we need 3 people.
There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Done.
Good. And what you're going to do, just like Susie said, you fill your glasses. We had an ice bucket at our bar. We fill the glasses, but we've already done that for you. And you pour your simple syrup, your tequila mix in first, correct? Sure. Okay. So go ahead and do that. Grab our pitcher.
Usually, whoops, I lost my mic, I think. Usually you do about 2 parts margarita base with 1 part simple syrup fruit base. Another thing, just think about what fruits are in season and what grows, like, let's say...
That's a margarita base.
If you wanted to do a watermelon margarita, mint would be really good with watermelon, or peaches, basil might be really good. So just use herbs that you think might go really well with the different fruits, and make your simple syrups, and then just blend the fruits, and it's really fun.
That's you're fine. You're fine. And then you can pick your garnish that goes with that and stir it up and take a sip and see what you think. Great. Now you're going to have to pick a different color, a different flavor. This is the strawberry. This is the pineapple. And this is the orange.
And the way you make the aqua frescas is you just probably, put in about 1/3 of the fruit juice. Now, do you ever put club soda in this? And you can top them off with club soda.
She made a great point. Remember, a lot of people do that. You love to do that. To freshen up a margarita, if you want it to be a little bit lighter, just top it off with a little splash of club soda, because it does make it fresh. So that's a great idea. So you'll have a choice for that too. Yeah, use the pink. Use the strawberry. This orange. The orange.
Y'all get to sample the aqua fresca.
You like the spice. You're all about the spice. Good. You could. Simple syrup, 45 minutes, and you just want it to get to room temperature. And then you can store the simple syrup for several days up to a week in the refrigerator. So you can do all this in advance and just chop up your garnish and mix up your fruit. So you've got this margarita bar already ready to go.
And all the instructions and everything are in the cookbook. It's very simple.
And afterwards, you will be...
beautiful.
Just so you know, afterwards, they'll be selling and signing the cookbook just behind the demonstration kitchen, behind that smoked glass. So if you want to check out the cookbook and talk to them...
Here's a little treat from Cotton Colors for being such a good sport. A little happy hour. Good, and you come finish it up and see what y'all think. We'd love to hear feedback on how you like it.
And they're going to bring out aqua frescas for everybody to taste.
Yes, so you get a little fresh taste. Yeah, try that. And if you want to make a little splash, add some club soda to it.
Does anybody have any questions?
You can use your garnish to stir.
About this for them? Anybody any questions? Look at this. They're passing it down the row here. I think we're going to have a very happy row.
Oh, gosh.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry about that.
How does it taste? Fresh, doesn't it? Good, good. Very glad.
See, look, you're getting your daily supply of fruits and vegetables, right? There's your fruits right there. Your vitamin C, your vitamin A.
You got to get them any way you can, and what better way to do it than with a little side of tequila to go.
They're going to be bringing out drinks for you, but while they do that, I'm going to show you about the mango salsa.
This is the best tip you'll ever know, because it's always very difficult to peel a mango. It is. It's really hard to cut it.
So what I would do is, come take the fruit.
Okay.
and they're going to mix up some drinks for y'all. Just take this, score it. Or you can put it down so you don't cut through and cut your hand.
So
you
that's
just score through
that's
to
your
the skin.
mango.
This is fresh mango.
Mangoes are very, very inexpensive now. If you get them in season, you can get them for next to nothing. And they really are really creative fruit. We have them in Florida growing on trees all over the place. They are a wonderful, wonderful fruit and very versatile.
What I like to tell a story. We went to Cabo San Lucas not so long, well, kind of long ago. My daughter's kind of older now. But I think they have a picture of the Mango Man.
There
and
he
on
is,
the
yeah.
beach there in Cabo, they take like a dowel and they'll put it up in the mango and just peel it, and they score the mango and they put salt and sprinkle it with hot cayenne pepper or something. They're eating those on the beach, or cucumbers on the beach. That's what they sell on the beach down there in Mexico. Isn't that great? So the other day when I was thinking about this, I said, I had a mango on the counter. I said, I'm going to do that. So I took 2 bamboo skewers and stuck them in the mango and tried to do it, and I was wobbling, but I was just eating it anyway. I don't care. But anyway, so that would be fun for your kids or grandkids when they come over to the house. Give them a cold mango. So then you just take this off and do this. Laura, you want to tell them kind of what's in the mango salsa?
The mango salsa is really a fresh tasting salsa. It's very different. You can serve it with chips just as an appetizer, or we're going to actually show it as a garnish on our pork. But you take 2 mangoes. It has Vidalia onion, cilantro chopped, some lime and lemon, and also some ground coriander.
The coriander, I think,
That's what makes it really unique also. And also, we can't cook without garlic. I don't think there's anything you can eat without that. But you add some 2 cloves of garlic minced and salt and pepper to taste. And it can sit mixed up in your refrigerator. So that's another great make-ahead kind of appetizer. And it's, like I said, very versatile. You can serve it a lot of different ways. So it's always nice to have something you can pull out as something different.
This is really good on pork, and we've served it on pork sandwiches or just pulled pork. But it's also good. You can just use it as a dip, and you guys will really enjoy it. You're going to get a taste in just a minute.
This is how pretty it looks, too. I don't know if y'all can see yet.
So there's 1 mango in there, and I'm just throwing in this last one. So we'll do that. And I'll wash my hands if you want to give this to the girls, and they can put that on
Great.
top of the pork.
This is going to be, as your garnish, you're going to be able to taste this alongside of the pork. So let me grab this, and we'll go get that. Come on. Here
Does
you go.
anybody have any questions up to this point? No? Everyone's saying, we want to taste that aqua fresca.
I know, they're going to get them out here.
They're working
gonna
on
get
it.
'em
I
out
see
here.
them working very
Good.
diligently back there.
Great.
Good.
Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is the pulled pork. And what I like about this pulled pork is that you cook it in the oven, but it tastes like it's been done on the barbecue. And you can also make it the day before. Well, and you have to marinate it for 12 hours. So you marinate it for 12 hours, and then you cook it. You can go ahead and serve it that day. If you want to make it ahead, you can put it back in the refrigerator and then heat it up and crisp it in the oven, and it tastes just like it's been done on the barbecue grill. And it's easy to do for a huge crowd. So just wanted to show you this about pulling the pork. The pork is been
Here?
yeah,
So you
sure.
like it? Sure.
Rubbed with cumin and salt and pepper. And then we made a nice marinade. And the marinade, ooh, that's going to be hot to pull. The marinade has pineapple juice, soy sauce, garlic, all kinds of good things. There's jalapenos. And so you reserve half your marinade, and then you cook this for 3.5 hours on 325. And I was just going to show you about pulling the pork.
Did you mention how great this is? Because it does taste like it's been grilled, but it's actually, the cumin makes it very smoky, so it tastes like it has been on the grill, but it's actually cooked in the oven, which makes it nice.
It's really wonderful. Everybody seems to enjoy this. So, I'll take this. And I don't know if you can see that, but you just
Yeah, good.
We can
You
see
got
it.
Do this.
Absolutely, you can. Looks good. You just take 2 forks and look at how tender it is, how you cook it.
It's beautiful. And what I like to do is put it on like a cookie sheet and put it back in the oven and crisp it up in the oven just a little bit. Pour some of the extra marinade over the top. I think y'all are going to enjoy it. It's really good. And this is great for leftovers. The next morning you can make grits and serve it on top. It's really very versatile. Make tacos, all kinds of great things.
Good. Now, this is one of
another
my
thing,
very
yeah.
favorite things that Susie does. That's another easy trick and something that's really unique and different. And those are the pink pickled onions. Does anybody ever have pink pickled onions? Anybody have them? You've had them.
Susan's had 'em.
Susan's had them. But they are really easy to make, and they're very pretty, and it's such a great color. And you're not going to believe how simple and what makes them pink.
All you do is slice real thin a red onion. And this is just one large red onion, so it goes really far. This is great. We use this on sandwiches, and it's just great. So you slice up an onion, you squeeze one lime over the top. I zest the lime too, because I always use the zest on lemons and limes. But anyway, you squeeze one lime over it, pinch of salt, and then you put it in the refrigerator for 6 hours. And they are sweet. They do not taste, they're not bitter, they're not hot, they're really sweet. And so it's just a great trick, and it's just an easy thing to do to kind of step up. You could put this on roasted pork, roast beef, all kinds of things, fun things, tacos, fish tacos.
That
It is.
actually is.
There's a reference to it.
You'll find a lot of tips and tricks just like this on the sidebars. We have the main recipes, but all throughout the book, there's all these little tiny extra things that add to the flavor of all what you serve, just to make it unique and different. That's what we love about it, is that I am a sauce person, I'm a garnish person. I love extra little texture on my pieces, just something that makes them taste fresh. And those onions, when you put that on that pork, just changes the whole thing. It just makes it feel really fresh. That's what I love about that. And you put that on a turkey sandwich with a slice of avocado, it's wonderful. And it's so different than just a plain sandwich, so it really makes it great.
So are you enjoying the aqua frescas?
They good?
Yeah?
You pretend like you're in Mexico. That's what they drink on the streets.
Refreshing?
Yeah, it's really good.
I think
Really
they're
refreshing.
pretending that there's tequila in it.
I know. Well,
Now, to my favorite part, we are going to have, I probably should have had this, you probably think this margarita should be over here in the margarita bar, this blender, right? I made a mistake and put this blender over here. But actually, no, we're not making margaritas out of the blender. We are actually doing dessert. And let me tell you, if there's one great thing you can take away from this cooking demo is this dessert, because chocolate mousse somewhat is intimidating. You kind of feel like, how do you make that? I've never done it. A lot of people have never ever done a mousse before. And I hadn't before I met you, Susie. I have to confess, but she's made it so simple for us. And another great thing is it's something that needs to be done 2 hours in advance, because it does need to set, but it can be done well in advance. But we do need another volunteer, and you do get presents, okay? You do get presents for bribing you. So we just need one volunteer.
Here
Come
we
on
go.
up.
Chocolate.
And the two of you didn't get your prizes, so make sure you come and get your little gift for the brave ones that come on stage with us. So come and do this, and we're going to show you how very simple this recipe is to do. Let me get this up.
there you go. You can guide her.
Great.
I'll stand over here and
Basically,
whisk.
now this is a new blender, so this is when Susie and we should have practiced before we did this. We didn't do that, did we? So
How are
this
you?
is a new equipment.
Good.
And what's your name? Pauline, thanks so much for being brave and coming up and sharing some of this nervousness with us. Basically, we're going to do mocha mousse. You add 2 cups of the bittersweet chocolate, and believe it or not, you put it right in the blender. And we're going to show you how fabulously easy this is. And you're going to do 1.5 cups of very strong coffee, hot, and that's what melts the chocolate. So that's the important part, is to make sure that your coffee is hot. So you're going to carefully pour that into your blender. And also, the best news is there's only 1/4 cup of sugar in this, so it's not too overly sweet. It's just a little bit of sugar, and divided into 8. This serves 8, so it really is just a little pinch of sugar for each serving. So you go ahead and dump that in. And we do blend this on for 10 seconds. So we're going to wait on those and blend this for 10 seconds, and this is where it gets scary.
Tell them about the towel.
Because I really have never used this blender before, which
And
was dumb on my part. I didn't learn. And then you just turn it on.
And you're wearing
For
white.
about 10 seconds. Watch out. Good. Not too bad. So 10 seconds. Perfect. And then you add the trick, which makes a mousse, and that is 6 egg whites. And you put that on. And then you blend for about a minute on high. So we'll go ahead and blend that.
But we don't have to do it all a minute.
So we'll pretend that was a minute.
We have the magic.
Time is flying by.
mousse.
And that is the mousse. That is all it takes, is that length of time to be able to pour. And then you pour these into cute little ramekin cups like we've done here. And the magic of our show is that it's all finished for you. So you just pour them, little cups of mousse goes into the ramekins. Any of the cute ones that you like. We like cotton colors, of course. And you put it in the refrigerator for 2 hours in advance or even longer. And
whisk?
let me tell you, then right before you go to serve it, you just add a little bit of whipped cream. And she insists on whipping this by hand for some reason. You can get out your little blender and do it in about half the time, but she's authentic and likes to do things this way.
Well,
and basically, don't use whipped cream out of a can. You can if you want to, but really and truly, it takes 2 seconds more to have a really delicious whipped cream, and that is just heavy whipping cream and a little bit of arm power or a blender.
Right.
And you just add a little pinch of sugar. And what's also nice, Susie, is tell them about the different versatility of this dessert, which is what I like. You can make this seasonal
Right.
for your
with
guests.
the whipped cream right now, all we have in there is 1 cup of sugar. 1 cup of whipped cream and 2 tablespoons of sugar. And you can make this fit every occasion. If you were doing Mexican or Italian, you can grate some lemon zest and put some lemon juice in there. But at Christmas, we've made this before and put crushed up candy cane in the whipped cream and put it on the chocolate. It's delicious. So you could get real creative with ideas on how to flavor your whipped creams. So what we're going to do, and you don't have to get it to heavy peaks. You just really need it to be like a little cream. And y'all are going to get to taste this. But what we would do, it wouldn't take long, but longer than we thought. And so what we're going to do is zest some lemon into this. And Laura, if you'll get me a knife, I'm going to put a little squeeze of
Sure. Let me see where we got a
lemon
knife
juice
here.
in this.
Could you use other flavors besides chocolate, or could you add other flavors into the actual mousse as well besides the whipped cream?
Well, what I would know,
A little knife. There we go.
what I
Right here.
do know is this. You can make it without coffee. You can make it with decaf coffee. You can make it with regular coffee, or you can make it just with hot water if people don't like coffee. So that is an option as far as other things. I've never tried it with
I
the
think
chocolate's kind of what makes it all come together.
I
so.
think I'm kind of liking the idea of maybe a little cherry or some little flavor.
mean add some
liqueur
other
even.
flavoring?
Yeah, why
Almond.
not?
Yeah.
We'll experiment with
Mint.
that. That's
Yeah, we'll
what's
have to
nice.
try that.
Yeah.
Next, Mark.
Okay, so anyway, you guys are going to get to taste this. And what you would do is you don't have to whip this to soft peak or anything. It's just a little flavoring of cream on top. And then you can put a little more lemon zest over the top of these too. It's a really easy dessert. It's a very lovely dessert. And it's light and it's low in fat. And it's just a lot of bang for not a lot of work. I think you're going to like this
So
a
I
lot,
think
too.
should our helper be the first one to try it?
Yes.
Back there.
Pauline, we're
I
going
like
to give
it.
you a spoon. You get to have the
Pauline.
whole portion too.
Oh, we gotta
All
find
of
a
you will
spoon.
have a taste. And
A spoon.
Paige is getting you a tasting spoon so that
Good.
you can do that.
Well, thank you so much.
Now, have you made mousse before, Pauline? No, I haven't. Well, now look at you've accomplished
Now you've done
a
it.
dessert. And here's a spoon for you to taste. And here's a
And-
little present for you too to take with you. So take a taste and see what you think. Very good.
It's rich, isn't it?
It's rich.
Uh-huh.
And that's what's so good after that pork. When you sit down, have your guests sit down, and they have a little taste, and it's cold. Yeah, very.
And
fun.
I've used this same recipe when I've cooked Italian. I mean, it would go with a lot of different types of food. So anyway,
Can I ask you
Paige.
a question about the actual dishware that you're using? Gorgeous bowls and plates, unique designs. Talk a little bit about what you carry at Cotton Colors.
Well, Cotton Colors is all hand painted and all designed. So we really delight in a lot of color use and also a lot of mix and match. So you can take these pieces, even that we see here, and match them all the way through the seasons. You'll see that they're all part of our Thanksgiving line, part of our Christmas line, and we're all about celebrating different occasions and seasons. So you'll see the full range. We got it covered. If you're celebrating something, we've got dishes and plates to cover it. And that's what makes it fun, whether you have children or grandchildren or just your own friends and family. We love to have different celebrations occurring throughout the year and making it easy to have and just pull out. That isn't so cumbersome to do.
And talk a little bit about your cookbook, the Happy Everything Cookbook, if you would.
Susie, you can take on that, and Pauline, you get a little treat to take with you. So thank you for being
What I
brave
would
and
like to
coming
say about the cookbook is this. It's broken up into 11 chapters. We did them on themes that we had something to talk about, and the recipes were developed for those themes. But the cookbook can be used as just go-to recipes. I purposely made the recipes really easy with limited ingredients, and most of the recipes are under 7 ingredients. You really need to take a look at the book because just wonderful potato salads, wonderful slaws, all kinds of wonderful desserts. lots of nice side dishes, but they're go-to recipes and they're simple. And so you don't have to do the whole party. You can just go use it as a regular cookbook, and you really need to take a good look at it.
Is that I always love to go to her house for dinner because she's got a very big talent of putting together dishes that are really taste good together. They're very balanced and very energized and very different. But you don't, like she said,
They're
you don't
simple.
have to. She has the whole menu listed for you, so you can throw the party and do it just as she's done it, and promise you it's going to be great. Or you can pick and choose, like I'll cook out of the cookbook throughout the week, and because it's a short ingredient list, but it's something truly different. And it's not the same old. So you'll have something good.
And if anybody wants to buy the cookbook afterwards, it's behind the demonstration kitchen, and they'll also sign it, and you can chat
Yes,
with them,
we'll
but
do
you
it.
have the
I'd
books
Be
back
glad
there.
to.
Well, we'd love to. Yes.
Oh, hang on, let me get the microphone to you.
Yes.
Your little ramekins are so cute. I love them. Are they oven safe?
They are for sale, but they will not be able to preview. You're getting a little
No,
preview.
but I mean, are they oven safe?
Oven safe.
They
In
are.
January, you will have the answer for that, but you will be able to see those in our showroom. They're going to be part of our new line in 2013. So,
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And I love your
Showroom's on
garnish
floor
with the
6.
strawberries and the mint. That was really good.
You like the garnish? Good, good.
Very
It makes
nice.
see that's what's different about the cookbook. You don't have the typical garnishes. Strawberry and mint together are just wonderful. Right now, I'd like to introduce you to Paige Benton. Paige and I have go a long way. She was a young artist when she came on board with Cotton Colors. How many years ago? Can we ever remember? 14-ish, so she's grown quite a bit with Cotton Colors, and Cotton Colors has grown up a lot beside her. A lot of the tips and tricks and ideas and the styling that you see throughout our line were out of her head and her hand. She's one of the most talented people I know. And she and I balance each other very well because I'm high energy and get it done fast, and what can we do? And she's slow and perfect and has all the attention to detail, and you'll see her handiwork in our cookbook. I'm so proud to say that our team has as the producer of the cookbook. Lindley, who you met earlier, did all of the beautiful photography. Paige styled every shot, which is a talent that is beyond understanding if anybody's ever done a project of this scope. So it's very, very, her attention to detail you'll see. You can learn a lot from her, and what she's going to teach you today is one of the tips that she gave us in the Cinco de Mayo section, which you will see throughout there. We develop paper flowers, and it's the most simple thing, and it's from I remember doing this when I was growing up. I would spray perfume and make my mom paper flowers, and she's taken it up several notches. And when I came in to see the photo shoot for the Cinco de Mayo, my entire back porch, fans and all, were totally covered in these beautiful paper flowers. So she made it a true art. You don't have to take it to that extreme, but you can use them a lot of different places. So I'm going to pass this over to Paige. Be quiet and let her talk for a minute, and show you how easy this is to create something really unique.
And Paige, let's move you to the center so everybody can see what you're making here.
And I'll take this away. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We'll have to clean this up a little bit here.
That's okay, that's fine. Okay, so we'll get started here and teach you a little bit how to do these. It's actually very, very simple and very versatile. At Cotton Colors, we always like to add a little bit of extra punch of fun to our parties. That's kind of what we do. But so I came up with these for our Cinco de Mayo party, and I've used them in other occasions as well. I hosted a baby shower with some friends, and unfortunately, dates didn't coincide, and I was not able to be there. So I thought, what can I do to contribute? I was racking my brain. And I ended up using these flowers, but I did them in very soft colors, whites and creams and baby pinks, and it gave it a whole different look for a very sweet, festive baby shower. So they're very versatile. I mean, you can see that we've stuck them in vases here. You can also turn them upside down and hang them. You could make two and put them together, fasten them together and hang. It's a very versatile thing you can do in lots of different sizes. So this may be blocking you. And they do last longer than real flowers. That was, when you're in the rush of creating a party and getting ready for it, there's so many things that just have to be done the day of and can't be done ahead of time. And so this is a great way to do some things ahead of time that makes your day less stressful the day of. So that's why we came up with these. So I'll get started and teach you how to do them. These are actually just your standard 20 by 20 sheets of tissue paper. And I've just stacked several different colors and layered them. You can kind of see the different combinations of what we've done. You can do them solids or alternating colors. And stack them so that the corners are pretty tight. Makes a good square. And then you just begin to fold. You kind of fold over about a 1-inch fold there. And you can do them a little bit smaller if you'd like to make the smaller ones. But what the technique you do is just an accordion fold, just like you make a fan, I guess, in school. But just back and forth, accordion style.
She is very slow and deliberate. She's good.
Yes, she is.
Precise.
It's gonna be perfect, too.
We'll see. Yeah, lots of different themes. Like I said, I did the very soft colors for a baby shower. You know, lots of different parties have color themes, so you can stick with those. And the party stores are so good these days of really having all the different colors. So it's really accessible and easy to find pretty much what you're looking for these days. So once you get it all the way folded, like this, I like to use a floral wire. And this one is actually covered in a soft thread or fabric. They're not always covered. Sometimes they're covered in green. It doesn't really matter. But what's nice is that they bend, and you have a lot of control over arranging them. You could use pipe cleaners. These are nice because they're thinner and they're not as thick. So when you fold it up in the center, they kind of hide a little bit. But I just fold it around the center and then just twist. It doesn't have to be overly tight, just to kind of keep it secure so it doesn't move too much. And then the next step you do is just take scissors and you trim the ends to create the end of the shape that you would like. You can see this one right down here has the point, so you can cut it to a point. Or this one here is more of a scallop, and so you can cut it rounded. So do you guys have a preference on which one you'd like to see? Anybody? Point. Point. Okay, point it is. As we were creating these this morning, we decided that was our favorite too. And it's kind of thick, so you want to have some good sharp scissors to cut through. That's right.
Confetti.
If you'd like to, all of your extras. And one thing to keep in mind as you're cutting the ends, I would recommend doing more of a dramatic cut, like a deep V or a deep arc, just because you get the more exaggerated ends and it just has a better look to it in the end. It's very simple. You can enlist your kids to help or, you know, extra family members. It's very easy to teach people how to do it and easy to do. And you can see this is the length, so it's pretty centered. And if you wanted to make them smaller, you can just cut the ends shorter. But if you want to not, if you want to do the small ones and not be as wasteful, you can cut the regular size 20 by 20 sheet into quarters. And so that's what makes kind of the smaller size. So from here, you just kind of fan it out, and one by one, you lift up the pieces. And you kind of have to be gentle to do this. It's to get them separated. You know, the tissue paper is so thin and it wants to tear easily. Yes, patience yet again. Patience is a virtue. And just one by one, you just watch it evolve. That's it. So, and I like to do
That's
alternating
beautiful.
sides, start one side and then go to the next, because it tends to blend the petals together a little bit better.
All of my next gifts are going to be wrapped with this. Like, think about that. You don't have to do a bow anymore. You can make a whole bunch of them and have them just in your gift closet.
It's a great idea.
One
Really
thing
makes
we
a statement.
did for our event as well, I mean, you can see the cluster of them here, but we also just took some simple bud vases or just a glass or a stemless wine glass. We had a lot of those around, and just put one in. And that makes just as big of a statement on your food table and gives you a little more control over placement and where you put them. If you just need fill a little hole on your serving table, that's a perfect option to do. So
I have a funny story. One little bit of warning for y'all is that we take this, we actually do all of this. I mean, we really do. We just don't make up stuff and pass it on. We actually live this life. And I just experienced a very large birthday, which I was very happy to do, happy to be here for that, and had the joy of having a dinner thrown in my honor. And my daughter did the beautiful job of blue and white. It was a whole blue and white theme. And I understand that right before they lit all the candles that were interspersed with it. And it was interesting to see the different personalities evolve.
We
in the
were in a
children.
restaurant.
That we were in a restaurant. from my first daughter who, handled it, stood there and watched them burn, and then the other one picked it up and actually threw it back on the table to the person who had the frame of mind to actually put the fire out. So be careful with your candles. The restaurant actually moved all the candles off the table and wouldn't let us have it back again. And I don't blame them,
beautiful table, though.
it was hilariously funny. So, but candles do make a lot of fun atmosphere, but do keep them away from the paper flowers.
And this seems
Fair
like
warning.
a good idea. If you have kids at home, it's a good weekend project, and then you can store them, and when you have a party, boom, and they see what they've done, helps.
And you
know
could
what you're
store
doing.
them flat and then just puff them the day of a party or something like
Right,
that. too.
that's also a nice thing to do. How I had it right before I started puffing it, just fold them to that point ahead of time, and then you can fluff them the day of. It definitely makes a difference. But from this point, this is kind of the finished product here. Like I said, if you wanted to do two and make it a full circle, you would just connect them together. And this is another reason why I use the floral wire, is because it's so bendable and you can really do a lot of different things. If you were to hang them, you can just create a little hook here, and it can be secure, and you can do a better job than I just did. But you tie it with fishing line and hang them, or cluster them together, tie a lot together. You can use the floral wire to do that, or the floral wire also is stuck into the floral foam here to keep them in place, so it's firm enough to do that as well.
There was also a suggestion when you're giving a gift, you know how you put tissue paper out of it? Put the flowers in instead. That was a great gift idea.
Great idea. On the top
Yeah,
of a
that's a
gift
great idea.
bag. That is, I'd be excited to open that gift.
How many people were going to come to your house and you're going to have these all over the place?
Very easy, all different sizes, all different colors, so you can really customize it to be your own. So.
All right, I'm going to come out here. Does anybody have any questions? I'll come out with the microphone. Anybody? Oh, yep, here's a question. Let me get over to you.
How many sheets of tissue paper did she use for each color?
You may have to translate.
Sign language.
10, sorry.
But
Yeah,
you
she
could
used 10.
could you use, less if you wanted smaller,
Pardon me?
less if you wanted smaller flowers,
smaller-
more if you wanted bigger?
Right, smaller use is about 6, the larger is 10. And you can kind of get a feel for it too to see what you need.
Any other questions?
How full.
Tell us again where your showroom is, where Cotton Colors is, where people can come, or how can they reach you or find you?
Cotton Colors is located on the 6th floor of this building. We actually span over the west wing, so you can just take this bank of elevators and you'll see all the bright fun colors with all of the seasons that we're celebrating down there. And you'll notice us with our Happy Everything aprons, and we're happy to show you around, have you taste some actual tequila and some margarita. We weren't actually allowed to pass those out up here, but we have lots of them down in our showroom, so we'd love to entertain you with that, or a nice refreshment, or a little bit more taste. We do have one thing that I don't see here.
They're right over there.
Oh, here it is. One of the things that so many people asked us when we launched our cookbook was, I'd like to just buy the food. What can I do? And we're so proud that we just launched our very first, I'm going to turn this stove off, our new venture into a Taste of Cotton Colors, and those are 4 really good recipes going into 4th quarter that are ready to take and eat with it. And it's a wonderful companion if you're looking for a great way to sell or to get people involved in cookbook sales. It's always great to have a little taste and flavor, and you can taste all of those down in our showroom down there. We've got 2 jams that are really unique, like our cookbook. Fig jam and tomato jam, excellent on Cuban sandwiches, delicious over brie cheese, on crackers, very, very simple, very fresh and very savory, going into 4th quarter. Also, my father-in-law, years ago, if you're a Florida State fan, he opened a very famous barbecue place called Jim and Milt's Barbecue that everybody that goes to FSU eats the barbecue there, and that is his secret sauce that we have privilege to. Once you taste that barbecue sauce, you won't eat any others, I promise. And then Susie's fabulous, very fresh marinara. So 3 great little tastes from 3 different chapters in our cookbook. So we hope that invite you to come down and have a taste of that, and I promise you it'll be something you won't ever have had before. So please do come.
Any other questions about anything? I know you don't have a microphone, but maybe you can translate a little bit or tell us. I love the idea of having sort of a dinner complete from the dishes to the recipes to actually the decorations. Do you have other ideas like the decorations as well? Because we know we're going to get the dishes and the recipes, but besides the flowers?
You know what I think is so on trend? I just cut you off, didn't I? You probably
No, you're fine, perfect.
Okay. I love all of these succulents now. Cactuses. We have a cactus that we showed last year.
It's
1 year
lived.
ago. And our showroom is open 4 times a year, okay? That cactus looks as good as the first day when we got it. And I promise you, maybe somebody's watered it. I don't know, maybe once or twice. Perfect. And I'm all about buying things, plants that you can put out for a party and that still live. And it's even great to even send home as a little gift with your guests. Here's a little thought from the party and as a memory. We do that a lot. We love that. But all the little cactuses that are so popular now, they're very inexpensive and you can't hardly kill them. I have killed a cactus before, I do have to say, but I love the kind that you just put out there and the more you water it, the more you kill it, so that's perfect for me. But all the succulents, you can put those in the tables. There's all different sizes, all different colors, and they really look good. Don't you think, Paige? I don't know if you have anything in addition to that.
There are a lot of examples in the cookbook of how to use plants and decorate with plants.
Yeah, we love to use in our cookbook. You'll see where we take simple things out of our yard. Like I love palm fronds. You'll see a lot of those in decorations. They're very simple. Just go out there right before, clip them off, put them in a vase, and they add a little bit of fresh without having it being too arranged. My favorite plant in the whole history of the world is an orchid because you cannot, I mean, it blooms for 4 months. And those are the kind of things I love, is things that last for a long time that you can put in creative pots and so forth, which we have a lot of in the Cotton Colors line.
Any other questions? Oh.
Laura, do you want to show them? I have a photo of these hanging from the fans. Talk about hanging them from the fans.
Yeah, let's take a look. See, a little bit less, but you can see we have them loaded, and they're all different sizes and shapes. So, yeah. That's what we did too. Also, is there, you can go to a lot of like World Market or Pier 1 and buy those inexpensive Oriental round tissue globes, and those are great to tie in with the paper flowers. It gives you a little bit of a different texture. So that filled in a lot of those fans too. But we have 2 big ceiling fans, and literally they were covered. And it took no time. And actually, my children, I'm all about getting children involved, not just because they love to, but because they're easy, more hands to do. So definitely engage them. But this is a very easy project that they feel a part of the party as well. So.
Right.
Any other questions? Any suggestions? How long, okay, you say you were lifelong friends. How long have you been friends, and how was it to create this cookbook and these ideas and brainstorm together? Because, I love my best friend, but sometimes I want to lock her in a closet, I'm not going to lie. But you know what I'm saying? You guys seem to be like sisters.
Well, I'll set you up, and then you can tell the real story. I have had the Cotton Colors for many years, and I'm crazy busy and always creating. And one of my very favorite things to do was to get a phone call from Ed Murray. She doesn't invite; she always cooks, but her husband is the inviter. Come to my house for dinner, and you drop everything. If I had a vacation plan, I wouldn't go, truly, because it was such a treat to go. She's very experimental, very creative, and I have said for years. We met in college. We were sorority sisters, and we married lifelong friends. From Florida State, and we settled in Tallahassee together. I was born and raised in Miami, and she was born and raised in Central Florida. So we have Florida girls, Florida raised with all the citrus, and had a lot of similar upbringing. We vacationed in the Keys together, so we have a lot of the same background. Our parents were very big entertainers, loved to cook and gather as family, very close-knit. And I would beg her, and she would just laugh at me. Please make a cookbook with me. It's going to be the best cookbook ever, I promise. Please, please, please. You're so talented. Please, please, please. I want your recipes. Please. So I'll let you then take it from there.
Well, I don't know about that, but I was getting ready to possibly open a restaurant, and so the sale didn't quite go through. Some funny things happened, so I called Laura, and I said, "Oh, I think I'm there," and she was like, "Okay, be at the office, tomorrow." And so we've had a great time doing the cookbook. It took us about 1.5 years to do the cookbook. And she has such a wonderful group of people that work at Cotton Colors, so it was really easy. What I'd like to say again is that it was all done in-house, the photography, the styling, and everything. And so it's just a real accomplishment, and we're real proud of it. I hope you'll take a look at it because it's a very good cookbook.
I do have to tell just a little funny story. Is that we were doing a photo shoot, and we have kind of put those in between a lot of the other work that we were doing. And Susie was busy testing recipes, and she had her schedule, and we had deadlines, Susie, this deadline, and the team's over here on these deadlines. And I was involved in a photo shoot, and all day, and she was supposed to be there. And all day I was like, where is Susie? Where's Susie? I said, you don't think like she got in her car and like drove to the West Coast or something? Where is Susie? Where's Susie? So we were kind of doing the picture, and I was standing in our store doing this picture, and here she comes with her bag of groceries to drop off to somebody who was testing some recipes, and she didn't say a word as she walked by us, and we're like, okay. And she walked by us and laughed and walked out the door and opened the door back up again and said, I figured it out, Laura. She goes, I'm a crock pot and you're a pressure cooker.
That's
us in a nutshell. And it was the daggum truth. And that was laugh. And she couldn't have coined it more perfectly.
That
You
was
know,
fun.
2 peas in a pod. You need the slow and the methodical, and the crock pot likes to do things the way that needs to be done, slow and steady. And I'm there I'm not happy unless everybody's in the pot with me pressuring.
Right,
So.
under the pressure.
Can you talk also about the concept of happy everything? We see it on the platter. How did you come up with that?
Oh gosh, this was a dream that I had, and I've always wanted to do it. At this point, we were hand making all of our pottery. We had a big studio with lots of painters. Anybody that walked in the door and said, "Are you hiring?" I'd say, "Go change your clothes and come back and paint." And we would sit down, and it was a bunch of people just painting, making pottery. We hand made every piece. We fired every piece, and half of them would break, and we would be there just redoing it, go. And one of the pieces that I wanted to do, I have in our team is a very artistic team, and one of the gentlemen is our potter, and he's a stay-at-home dad, and he is a potter. True by nature, went to college for pottery, did pottery, and he and I raised our kids together. He's still with me, was one of the very first people I met doing this venture. I would create things, and he designed things, and he would go throw them on the wheel and make them. But one of the things was this idea, and I wanted a platter, and I don't have one really to show that's really, guess I can walk in front, but it has Velcro. And took a little while to figure out what actually we were going to use to put this on. But this platter is
look for another
magic
thing.
in that it's Velcro. And I said, I just want one platter that I don't have to put away. I just want to be able to put it on my counter, and then as the seasons change out the toppers. And that way I only have these to store without having to store all of the various platters. Just something that was fun. I said, nobody's ever going to buy it. It's going to be way too expensive because it's going to be so cumbersome to make. But I took it to market, actually hand cut all the pieces, went through many design ideas to get it to where it is today. That takes a lot of time. In the olden days, we used to have to hand make everything, hand paint it, spend 2 days firing it, take it out of the kiln and say, oh, no, we need to change that color. We'd have to start all over again. But we did that, and now we have over 80 attachments that can fit on there from every single season, every single celebration, and it's so fun. And what's so nice is my girls are grown now, but I have a high school senior, she still loves to change that attachment. Go in there and say, I'm studying for a test today, I need this star student on there, or I'm going to the football game, I want to put the football on there. So it's really all about celebrating in everyday occasions and easily. I mean, it doesn't have to be this all-out thing. But it evolved into really and truly rolling out the clay, cutting the pieces out of the shape one by one, and firing them. And Brian, who was the potter I was telling you about, finally we went and got oversized cookie cutters. That was the next step. I mean, it was sort of evolution. Cotton colors is an evolution. And we would have these big cookie cutters that we would just cut the shapes out. And then we evolved into a much more of a bigger production to keep up with demand. When it got to be about a year wait, we had to do something different. But that's kind of the idea behind it. It's one of the biggest joys that I have is creating new attachments and hearing everybody's stories behind it, because they do tell me, and I love to hear from people saying, oh, I use this for this, or I really enjoy this, or how about doing this attachment? So.
And Laura won't brag on herself, but she got picked as one of the 10 choice picks by, is it Julie Kennedy, that did a seminar today. And so you got picked out of
The platter did,
yeah,
good.
The platter did.
Good.
And it almost seems that's a great also gift. So you could buy someone the platter, and then every time they have an occasion, you buy them an attachment.
Right.
And you don't think, what am I going to get them this time?
Yeah, and that's what stores love about it, is because once that season changes, that platter's empty. So guess who has to come back to your store to buy it? So that's what we hear a lot of. And that really evolved into the naming of the Happy Everything Cookbook. You'll see throughout, celebrating different occasions. That's what the Happy Everything platter is all about. So it's featured throughout the whole cookbook.
And talk about what those flowers are in, this little polka dot container.
The flowers
It's
in
a
the polka
cookie
dot
jar, I'm told.
Oh, this? Oh,
that's the same idea. We have a lot of different bases that this can go on too. This is our cookie jar, actually. It has a lid, and we just use it as a vase. So if you pull those flowers out, you'll see it holds a big cookie jar. It has a big topper on it, and it's the same concept where you just change it out. So people have asked, we want something other than a platter. I have a platter. I want something else to put my attachments on. So that's the same kind of idea, that you just put your attachment and you've thrown a Cinco de Mayo party, boom, done, you know.
and
Put
you
your
can
paper
use
flowers
the
on
same attachments on the plate or the cookie jar or wreaths or things like that too. So it's nice.
Anybody have any questions? Again, tell us where we can find you again, because I'm sure people are going to want to see everything and talk to you.
641. I never know. We are on the 641 on the way to the bridge to Building 3. You go down the escalator. We're on the side wall of this building. So we are the big, long showroom, and we talk a lot, and we're loud, so you just have to listen for us, and because we're very energetic down there. So.
Oh, here's the question. Hold on a sec.
question. I just wanted to say the food was very good. The
Thank
drinks,
you.
Aqua Fresca is now my new drink.
Oh, good.
Thanks.
Good.
And here's another question
you.
for you. Did you have a question?
She answered it. Thank you. Oh, or do you sell online?
Pardon me?
Online website?
We sure do. Absolutely, we do.
What's your website?
It's Cotton, and Cotton is spelled with one T, and -colors.com. So just remember it, Cotton Colors. And people ask me, why did you name your company Cotton Colors? And it was one of those brilliant marketing moves that I did 20-some years ago. But I started when my children were very little, and they actually, before they were born, and we made hand-dyed cotton clothing. And it has evolved into the love of my life, which is pottery, which is what I was born and trained on in art school. So that's kind of the style. Just couldn't drop the name. We got too far along.
And there's a little information on your seats. If you don't have it, we can get you a couple of pamphlets that you can have
Did they
in
get
some
dessert?
of the mailers.
Did they get dessert?
They got dessert. Yeah.
Yes, fantastic.
Good.
All right. Well, thank you so
We're
much.
gonna
We
be signing
appreciate it.
cookbooks, so if you'd like to have us sign some for you, we'd love to. Thank you
Yes.
for coming.
Thank you so much.